Hello there, it's me again, Ian. Hope you're all enjoying your wonderful day today. It's beautiful outside and yet we're stuck inside, but we can go out, I know. Just thought I'd do another quick video and talk about a few things. Hope you're all well during this uncertain times with everything going on. What I wanted to do first of all was talk about the direction of what I want to do with this channel, and part of what I want to do is threefold. It's about veganism now, because I've decided that I'm vegan and that's why I've called it Butcher to Vegan. I enjoy what I do, so I'm happy with that. But I'm also wanted to talk about reasons why. It's not just, it is about animal welfare totally. Always has been. Even when I was doing the butchery, I tried to do free range, good animal welfare. We'll talk about it at a later date because I worked for a very ethical company for a number of years. So we can explain. I'll explain all that in a different post later on. But also about health and well-being from my point of view. I mean, I turned 50 later on this year, and I've always done a small amount of exercise, never enough. Not since mid 20s at the latest. It has dramatically reduced down in what I do, and I made the decision last year to change that. So I want to talk about that as part of, and some of these as well, and also environmental impact. And that's the environmental impact. It's partly to do with the veganism, of course, but it's other things as well. You know, it's about, we've only got one planet. They say that the planet, how can I put it? We need 8 Earths for the population we've got now, with the consumption we use on everything. And is it right that because where we're born, we're lucky enough to have the perks, whereas those in the less fortunate country are born, it's just a roulette of where you're born, really, isn't it? It's a roll of the dice, it's the spin of the reel. It's not really right, is it? So can I begrudge when someone from a developing country wants to have what we've got now? I mean, I was lucky enough to be born in 1970, so when we were children we didn't have half the things we got now. I tell my daughter, well, I'm older than the internet, you know, and it's true to a degree, I know, but we didn't have the things. Life was different. I mean, we used to play curbsy on the road. Try doing that outside now, it would be impossible at any time. Even in well, actually, you could probably play it right now. If I had someone to play against, I'd have a go, but my daughter no longer lives with me. She's got her own place, so you know that's not going to happen that way, is it? Fortunately, in that sense. But no. So I'm just turning something else off. Bear with me. I was just doing an experiment, and it's with the microphone on my phone versus the iPad for recording, just for future reference, you know, so I know where we stand on it. Yeah. So environmental impact also, but it's. I've watched a lot of YouTube myself over the last year or so, and to be honest, how I got into YouTube, I discovered YouTube was strange. I worked somewhere and I was given a young lad. When I say young lad, he was in his early 20s, but it was basically, I'll just use his first name, Ian. Take Lee under your wing, show him what you know, and go for it. Yeah, and I know it's the subject of butchery, and that's so I took Lee to one side, got to know him a little bit about himself, and then right, let's do this. Now, bearing back in 1987 when I started, there were 5 of us started on the same day, and when I finished my apprenticeship 2 years later, only 2 of us completed. 3 completed, but 1 went to a different store. 1 lasted a week, and you know, it doesn't matter. It's just saying it was different. It was hardcore. We had no modern technology, which I'm getting to. We had to learn, and we had to go to college to learn as well, and that was it. Then you either passed or you failed, and then you moved on and you moved on and you moved on. So I took Lee under my wing and I was showing him a few things, and he was I felt he was kind of fortunate. He was doing things in the first week that I never did the first year, but it was the nature of the job, so it's part of my responsibility to teach him it. Oh, well, that's what I thought. Then he came up to me and he said one morning, and yeah, I had a bit of an issue. He goes, I don't need you no more, Ian. I've got YouTube. To which I went, you what? He said, I don't need you to teach me anything anymore. If I want to learn it, I'll go on YouTube. And I took it completely the wrong way, you know. Right, sod you then, you know. The irony is, he's still butchering now. I mean, I don't know what he's like. I don't even know if he can sharpen a knife. And we all need sharp knives, whether you can use it to cut a carrot or cut. It doesn't matter. You know, I'm not going to go down a... But it was my introduction to YouTube. Then I thought, well, what's this big thing that he's going on about? And this will show you how slow I am at doing things. This would have been in early 2013. And then it really bugged me. He said, it's exactly what I don't need you now. I found YouTube. I left it at that. Then a few years later, I started watching a few things on YouTube, because you get things on there which you can't get anywhere else. And there are some real talented people out there. And I thought, oh, okay. So I started watching, and I watch things, and my things I watch on will be a number of things from veganism, health and well-being, and environmental impact. Some tied over and go together, some don't, you know. And that's why I mentioned a few names in the previous one. I mean, if I want to know something about vegan, i.e. cooking it, making it from scratch, well, Gaz Oakley, avant-garde gardener, I don't know if I pronounced it right, but brilliant. The Bosch TV, I'd said about. There's another one called Madeleine Olivier. I think that's how it said, if I get it right. I got my daughter a book about minimalism for her birthday, part of her presents. But she does minimalism, sustainability. She's very green, ethical, and she's vegan. So she ticks all the boxes. So I haven't watched any for a few weeks now, but I do now and again watch her, you know, appreciate what she does. And I pick up and I learn things from her. And Simit Nutrition for food. But he didn't give me the smoothie recipe. I looked at his, I like some of his recipes. I'm working on some of my own because I'm allergic to nuts, and a lot of people we'll put a few almonds, we'll put a few cashews, we'll use the hazelnuts, but I can't do that. So if you can hear that noise in the background, that's my dog Peggy, somewhere lying down there. But yeah, so those are the kind of things that I want to talk about, those three subjects. Yeah. Veganism, animal welfare, health and well-being, and the environment and the environmental impact. I've always been interested in the environment, so don't think it's something new. I mean, I'll start backwards. The environmental impact. I've watched a documentary. I can't remember. I watched on back into, I think it was about 2007. It was called Plastic Soup, and it was about the plastic pollution in the oceans. It might be on YouTube now. I don't know. I should have a look and watch it again because I haven't seen it since. It was telling us all in 2007. I bought the Inconvenient Truth, the Al Gore DVD when it came out. You know, the first. I haven't actually seen the second DVD. I'm going to confess, that's my go. Peggy, sorry. I haven't watched the second video yet, but I should do because it'd be interesting, especially when you've got someone like Trump in charge now, and that's a different opinion. We can all have different opinion on politics and leave that alone for now. But then, so I have always been interested in it. I went to the big green gathering in probably 2007 as well, because I was interested. The thing was, I was a butcher, and they were all that there was no meat there on the big green gathering, but I didn't fit in. I didn't blend. I had this opinion, and I had an opinion and a belief that all vegans were like extremists. Doesn't mean I was right. That was just an opinion that I built up. You know, I actually worked technically, which we're going to later, for a vegan for a number of years as a butcher. But he was a vegan. The actual owner, the main man, the top dog, was vegan. We'll talk about that. I should do a blog on that in the near future. I'm sure I will, because it's an interesting one. But, you know, so I've always been interested in the environment. I have done as best I can, but my daughter was watching a month or two ago, again, because it's on BBC iPlayer, you for any witnesses, use War on Waste. And I've only just finished watching that today. And the trouble is, when I finished watching it, I just left that watching it angry at myself, disappointed and angry at myself, but angry at the way it's being dealt with, because it's not. Because at the end of the day, it all comes down to money. The world rotates around money, and that's all it's about. I mean, I come up with a number of different things which I say, and you know, I want to go for. I said, like I always say, that we're like an ant farm, and we've all got our little jobs and our little. We live our lives, but technically we're just drones. We're